Paula Danziger is a well-known children's book author who wrote over 30 books over her career. Starting with the novel The Cat Ate My Gym Suit, published in 1974, and has had found success as a writer, writing books until her unfortunate death from complications from a heart attack in 2004 at the age of 59. Her most well-known book series is the Amber Brown book series. This series focuses on the title character, Amber Brown, an ordinary girl who goes through everyday events and dilemmas that kids going through grade school face, such as friend drama, parents divorcing and remarrying, and adjusting to many new things at the start of a new school year, etc. The book that I'm going to be reviewing today is the first book of this said book series. The book I'm going to be reviewing today is called Amber Brown is Not a Crayon, written by Paula Danziger. The cover illustration was created by Jacqueline Rogers, and the interior book illustrations were created by Tony Ross. The story begins with Amber Brown, who serves as our narrator, her best friend Justin Daniels, and all of their third grade classmates excited about taking a pretend trip to China as part of the world culture subject lesson. Amber explains to us how the imaginary trips to different countries work, including how each of the students get their own passports, how they pretend to fly on a plane with their teacher, Mr. Cohen, being the pilot, and the various things they do once they quote-unquote get to their destinations. Amber also tells us how much she loves having her best friend Justin in her life, whom she's known since preschool. Once the class gets off the quote-unquote airplane to China, Mr. Cohen shows the class a film about China, and the class begins to work on their scrapbooks on their quote-unquote trip to China. During this time, Amber and Justin work on pretending to send postcards to their parents. In addition to Amber telling us more ways that she and Justin are great friends, she also tells us how Justin also often misses his father, who got a new job and lives alone in Alabama, where he, his mother, and his younger brother Walter, nicknamed Danny, live by themselves in their town in New Jersey while waiting for their house to be sold so they can move to Alabama as well. Amber can relate to this as her own parents are divorced and she hardly ever sees or hears from her own father, who lives in France. She's hopeful that Justin's house will never get sold and he can stay with her. The boys in Amber's class make fun of her name by asking for a brown crayon, and some chaos ensues in the classroom as a result of this teasing. Luckily for Amber and Justin, Mr. Cohen announces that it's lunchtime in China, and they and their classmates have takeout Chinese food for lunch, courtesy of the parent committee. I'm not going to lie. The whole concept of taking pretend trips to various countries in the world that Mr. Cohen invented and doing various things like watching a film and having food related to the country for lunch sounds like a lot of fun. And I wish I had teachers that would have gone the extra mile to make lessons about the countries in the world more fun, engaging, and creative like that. It sure is better than just having myself and my classmates take turns reading out of textbooks, and the teacher giving long, drawn-out lectures with little or no thought put into them when I was in grade school. Mr. Cohen passes out fortune cookies to all the students. When Justin receives his and reads the fortune, Amber notices that Justin seems withdrawn. She reads the fortune and it says, "Soon you will be going on a new journey and starting a new life." Amber gets bad feelings about what may be going to happen and hopes that the fortune does not come true. Later that day, Amber and Justin hang out together at Justin's house, eating cookies and playing cookie basketball with them, which sounds like a silly but interesting game. While they do this, Justin's mother shows their house to potential buyers, including a pregnant lady named Mrs. Bradley. Amber tries to scare off potential buyers to the house by telling them things about the house, such as there are alligators in the toilet and the house is haunted by ghosts. Nothing works, and the adults are amused by this. Amber, I know you're trying to prevent Justin from moving away, but did you really think that the adults would want to buy Justin's house or that gullible? Amber feels nervous about her failed attempts to prevent Justin's house from getting sold, But she and Justin get distracted by Justin's mother ordering pizza for dinner and joking about it. The next day after school, Amber is in a good mood because Justin's family has not heard from Mrs. Bradley about buying the house, which is a sign for her that Justin may not be moving. She tries to talk to Justin about their book reports, but Justin acts silly by hopping around like a kangaroo, explaining that he is practicing for their quote-unquote trip to Australia in their class in the near future. In addition, she also acts like a koala and tries to eat leaves. Amber gets annoyed by this at first, but then joins Justin by hopping their way to Justin's house. Amber wins the race, but the merriment of racing is quickly short-lived when Justin stands still quietly in front of his house, and Amber soon notices that the harsh reality of Justin's moving situation has hit them. The for sale sign in front of his house has been replaced by a sold sign. This, my viewers, is when the story begins to get more sad and emotional for everybody, especially Amber and Justin. How will they cope now that Justin is really moving away? Stay tuned and you'll find out. Over the next few days, Justin has been out of school going house hunting in Alabama while seeing his father. The boys tease Amber about Justin being her quote-unquote boyfriend when he's really not. Mr. Cohen intervenes and tells the class to work on their China projects, but Amber is too distracted by her feelings on how things have been going between her and Justin to do this. She goes on to tell us that Mrs. Bradley and her husband have purchased Justin's house, and she's been experiencing what's going to be like when Justin leaves, since Justin hasn't been in school much, and he and his mother have been so busy packing and doing other things that they don't have much time for her anymore. Amber feels so sad and abandoned that she decides that this year is the worst year of her life. I have to compliment the author on this chapter in the book. She really worked hard to make this moment with Amber expressing her true feelings realistic and not hide them in order to make Amber's character idealized. As a reader, I can completely sympathize with her feelings, and I'm sure that other readers can relate to her feelings as well. So, great job, Paula Danzinger. Later that day, Justin returns to school, and Mr. Cohen asks him to explain what's been going on with him, if he wants to, after they finish their math assignment. Justin is happy to, and as soon as the class finishes their said assignment, Justin stands in front of the class and tells the class everything that he's done while he was away in Alabama. From the plane trip, visiting his father, meeting new kids, to visiting his new school. The class is very intrigued by this. While this is going on, Amber continues to be unhappy. 1. She was hoping that she would be the first one that Justin tells about his trip to, and she was not. And throughout Justin's whole story, she was hoping that Justin would mention how much he would miss her. He never does. Amber, I know you're feeling sad about Justin leaving, but did you really think that Justin would mention you in his Alabama story? It's not all about you, you know. Amber visits Justin at his house and finds how messy it is, with Justin and his mother in the process of packing up all their things before they leave. Justin's mother is not in a good mood, feeling overwhelmed with so much work to do before they move for good. Amber notes how Justin has been acting like nothing has changed, and when she wants to talk to him, he refuses. She has no idea what to do to deal with that. Justin's mother tells him to go to his room and clean out his things, sorting them between the things he wants and things he wants to get rid of. Amber helps him. Once there, the two of them sort through Justin's things. They come across a ball made of chewed up chewing gum that the two of them have been making together for a year and a half. Amber is furious with Justin when he decides to throw it away, saying that it belongs to the two of them and it has meaning. Justin doesn't care, and Amber warns him that if he throws it away, she will never speak to him again. He does so, and Amber follows through on her threat, leaving the house. Wow, what a jerk Justin was being here. It made this scene hard for me to read, and I feel sorry for Amber in this moment. But is Justin truly a jerk? Stay tuned and you'll find out. Back at Amber's house, Amber thinks of ways of finding a new best friend. Amber's mother enters her room and asks Amber what's going on between her and Justin, seeing how Amber and Justin have stopped talking to each other. Amber feels like she's going to cry if she told her mother the truth, so she refuses. But even when Amber refuses to tell her mother what's going on, Amber's mother could clearly see what's going on. She's very understanding of Amber's feelings toward Justin moving, and it's okay to feel how she's feeling. Chances are, Justin is acting the way he is because he's covering up his hard feelings about moving as well. Amber feels better about talking to her mother and comes to terms with her feelings that she's truly going to miss him when he leaves. Amber's mother is so sweet in this chapter that I think everyone should have a parent like her. The final chapter of the book takes place sometime later. We're not really told how long later, to the day when Amber and Justin's class is going to have a pizza party in honor of Justin moving away. A goodbye party for him, more or less. The situation is awkward because Amber and Justin still are not speaking to each other. Amber notices that Justin doesn't appear to be any happier than she feels, and after a moment of joking around about the pizza arriving, Justin and Amber decide to step out into the hallway. There, the two of them have a heart-to-heart talk with each other. They apologize to each other for fighting, and Justin explains that the reason he's been acting the way he has been because he has been hiding his true feelings about moving away, which range from feeling sad, angry, confused, scared, etc. Just about the same feelings that Amber has been displaying. He goes on to explain that most of all, he will miss his best friend, Amber. Amber is happy when she hears this. She's even more happy when Justin gives her their chewed-up gumball that he intended to throw away as a gift. Aw, isn't that sweet of him to do that for her? Their touching moment is interrupted when Mr. Cohen tells them that the pizzas have arrived and to get back into the classroom before everyone else eats up all of it. Amber takes comfort in the fact that Justin can still be her friend by calling, writing, and visiting each other from time to time, even when they don't see each other as much as they used to. The end. My final thoughts on this book. I think the title of this book is a little misleading. With the title like Amber Brown is Not a Crayon, you would think that the story would be about Amber Brown being teased because of her name and finding ways to cope with it and be proud of her name rather than being ashamed of it. This instance does occur at least twice throughout the book, including a moment with Justin's younger brother, Danny, singing a song, Amber Brown is a crayon, a crayon, a crayon, a broken old crayon. However, the main focal point of the story is Amber Brown's special friendship with her friend, Justin, and their dealings with the incident of Justin moving away with his family and how much it changes their relationship. As mentioned before, the author did a great job of keeping the concept of a best friend moving away, the various emotions that come with it, ranging from sadness, anger, resentment, confusion, etc., realistic. This way, you can certainly empathize with Amber's feelings, and towards the end of the story, with Justin's feelings as well. It wasn't nice to see Justin be very distant and a jerk towards Amber, but I think it served the purpose of how people can act in ways like this in order to hide their true feelings about a major life change, in order to set a good example for others very well, I think. Again, it contributes to keeping things realistic throughout the story, as well as relatable. I think it's things like this that make the story fall into the category of slice of life, and it makes the reader feel like the things that happen in the story could happen to him or her in real life. You can really believe that Amber and Justin are truly friends, and have a special relationship with each other. They are quite interesting as characters as well. The real criticism I have about this story is the pacing of it. The story has a rush feeling to me, jumping ahead in time in each of the chapters that are contained in this book. 9 chapters that are contained in this book. For example, in one chapter, Amber and Justin discover that Justin's house has been sold. And in the next chapter, the story jumps ahead at least 2 weeks to where we learn that Justin has been out of school for a long time with the family in Alabama. Nothing interesting happened in the time gap between these two occurrences? I guess the author did this as to not make the story seem too drawn out for the target audience of grade school kids. What do I think of the illustrations in this book, the few that there are for a chapter book? I think they're fine for what they are. The art style is pretty simplistic, and I can see that the artist has a similar art style of Quentin Blake, the artist who illustrated the Roald Dahl books. They capture the expressions and body languages of the characters well, I think. They accomplish what they set out to do, I believe. In the end, would I recommend this book to others? Yes, I would. I think the story is relatable to the target audience, even when there has been many children's books written on the subject of moving away, whether it's the main character or a secondary character who's important to the main character moving away and how to cope with such a change in his or her lives. It makes for a great discussion, and I think it can be inspirational for people in real life, giving them advice on how to deal with such situations in their lives. If you can find this book, I recommend you give it a read and see for yourself. I hope you enjoyed my review of Amber Brown is Not a Crayon. And if you have any suggestions for future reviews, feel free to leave them for me in the comment section below. Please comment, share my video, and subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a nice day.